Hey YouTube, and welcome to Credit Viral Show. Today I've got some good news about Social Security benefits because millions of Americans are about to receive extra benefits added to their current Social Security, SSI and SSDI checks, as millions could soon be getting more Social Security benefits. This update is very important for current Social Security, SSI and SSDI recipients because this good news is here, but it has some cons as well, and we are going to discuss each and everything in this very important video. Remember that you need to take some steps in order to get this extra benefit, and one thing is very important. If you don't know about these steps that you need to take, you will keep receiving your current benefits, but there will be no extra benefit added to your current Social Security check. So that's why I would like to request you to please stay with us till the end of this video. And before I start the video, I would like to ask you just for a little favor to please smash the like button on this video, as it helps this video and the channel as well. So without any further ado, let's start the video. So let's not wait and get straight into it. A larger Social Security check could soon be coming to millions of Americans. The change is thanks to a bipartisan act awaiting President Biden's signature. This is really good news, retired Toledo firefighter Daniel Desmond said after learning the Senate passed the legislation on Saturday. Remember that millions of current Social Security recipients are struggling right now because their benefits are simply not enough. And yes, a legislation has been passed from the Senate, and now this legislation is sitting on President Biden's desk and he hasn't signed it yet, and people are wondering that why he's not signing the legislation right now. Remember that this legislation got overwhelming support in the House as well as in the Congress. So why President Biden is not signing this legislation, which will help numerous public sector workers? But the biggest question is that a number of lawmakers are asking that you can do it for 3 million Social Security recipients. Why you cannot do it for all of the 67 million Social Security, SSI and SSDI recipients while they are struggling? And right here, President Boyle presses the Social Security witness about Social Security benefits. Let's watch it, then I'll come back, break it down for you, and as well as I'll give you some more very important updates.
Elmendorf, following up on that last comment, does Social Security add one dime to our national debt?
So, thank you, Congressman Boyle, former Dean Elmendorf, thankfully.
Former dean of my alma mater, the Kennedy School, and former CBO director. So I think you have a great perspective to answer that question.
The government deficit arises from the gap between spending and revenues, and the debt is the accumulation of deficits. And so saying that debt is the fault of either revenues or spending alone isn't right. It's the gap that matters. For Social Security in particular, Social Security has been building up reserves since the early 1980s agreement between President Reagan, Speaker O'Neill, and members of the Congress. It's been building up reserves in order to pay benefits as the baby boom generation moved into retirement. Social Security has accumulated holdings of government debt, trillions of dollars of those holdings. Now, those won't last forever. The trust fund will, in fact, run out under current law at some point in the 2030s. But at the moment, Social Security has been contributing on the positive side to government finances.
In fact, if it weren't for those reserves, actually, the size of the deficit would be larger over the last several decades, correct?
For a number of years, the revenues brought in through Social Security exceeded the benefit payments. It's the debt, hope you understand, I know you do, I hope others do, is complicated. The Social Security fund holds government debt that is subject to limit. So the debt limit you vote on actually includes those holdings. But most economists look at the debt that's held outside of the government itself. And that publicly held debt is a smaller number, although still quite large, than the one that I graphed. And so I think you really want to think about the budget in a unified sense. The unified budget was developed decades and decades ago. And I think you want to think about spending and revenues together in that way.
Let me, you in your brief testimony made 3 points. Let me address the first one. If you can expand, you said, and I think I'm roughly quoting you here, no, we are not currently in a fiscal crisis. Can you please, before we talk about long-term, can you expand on that point?
A fiscal crisis is when investors are unwilling to hold countries' national securities except at exorbitant interest rates. And as has been pointed out, it's not always easy to predict when those are coming. Economists don't have good rules of thumb, in part because there aren't that many episodes. Countries differ in a lot of different ways. But one leading indicator is certainly what's happening to interest rates. And
particularly the 10-year.
Well, the 10-year rate is an important example of that. And interest rates in this country, although certainly up over the last few years, remain lower than they were for many years in this country. And so even though national debt has grown very considerably in the last 15 years, investors have been willing to hold that debt at rates that are actually low by historical standards.
So the truth has been revealed that Social Security benefits does not add a single dime into the national debt. So why these lawmakers are worried about cutting Social Security benefits, and they're saying that at the same time President-elect Donald J. Trump, Elon Musk, and Vivek Ramaswamy, all of these people will cut Social Security benefits. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this whole situation? While at the same time, the act repeals 2 policies: the government pension offset and the windfall elimination provision. And this is a very important legislation known as Social Security Fairness Act. The GPO in some instances reduces Social Security benefits for spouses, widows, and widowers who also receive a pension of their own. Similarly, the WEP reduces Social Security benefits for some people who also receive a pension or disability benefits if their employer did not withhold Social Security taxes. Remember, this bill benefits the public sector workers, which is indeed a great step taken from the current administration for millions of these beneficiaries. But what about the rest of the 67 million Social Security, SSI, and SSDI recipients, in which around 5 million of those are living under poverty? Why it's happening, what is the solution, and finally, lawmakers like Bernie Sanders, John Larson, Elizabeth Warren, Sherrod Brown, they all are coming forward and saying enough is enough. It's time to do something for all 70 million Social Security recipients. I'll see you in the next show very soon. Till then, please take care and have a nice day.